What up, people of the interwebs? My name is Knight, and this is a video just showing how I model my fursuit head bases for printing. I am a graduate of YouTube University, so everything I show here I have learned through other tutorials, whether it be specifically related to fursuit modeling or other crafts, tutorials, whatnot, or I have learned them through forums or the Blender guidebook, I suppose. Blender has resources everywhere, all over the internet. It's free, it's open source. I love Blender. So anything I don't show here totally in depth, you can find other tutorials for. This video is made assuming that you have some pre-existing knowledge of Blender, that you're slightly familiar with it. However, certain sections I'll be slowing down to explain what modifiers I am using to achieve certain results. Watching this back and while I was recording, being really focused on how I actually work, I realized there's probably some easier ways that I could be doing things, but this still works. I've been doing it for years. So for now, I hope that seeing my workflow is insightful, and hopefully you'll stick around till the end and hopefully you'll learn something. And if not, I'm sorry, no refunds. Alright, and here we are. We're starting with a fresh blank space, nothing extra. Starting with a sphere, and I'm deleting half of it. This is where our wearer's head or our head will be fitting into the base. So we just want that open space, and we'll refine the shape a bit more later, but right now my focus is just mapping out shapes, roughing them out, so then I will have something to build off of once I jump into sculpting. So I'm going to spend a good amount of time here in the sculpting mode. I love the sculpting feature. Shout out Blender for adding that. I very often will turn on the Dyn Topo button up at the top right, and all that does is it will change the geometry of the shape. So when you're zoomed in, you can see more faces are appearing. When you zoom out, it'll actually reduce them. So this is something that you really want to play around with, and once you learn it, you can use it to your advantage. Already you can see the face is very quickly taking shape. So I honestly spent a good few hours just playing around with the shapes. So this is where you want to have fun and experiment, because I feel like the sculpting tools are very forgiving. So this is one of those steps where, looking back, I really should have waited until later in the process to do this, but now I'm preparing to cut out the eyes, so I'm just adding a cylinder, laying it flat, and roughly shaping it to where I want the eye holes to be. Don't fret over making it perfect, because we're going to fix it later. And here I'm just gonna get in close and really focus and make sure that I'm not accidentally catching the bridge of the nose or the muzzle. Is it fixable? Yes, but I just like to take the time to get it done right the first time. So, don't rush this, don't fret over it being absolutely perfect, but we want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success later. So now I'll be using the Boolean modifier to create our eye hole. It'll remove the overlapping faces of our two shapes here. This would behave better if I was using it on a watertight shape, but since it isn't, we're left with this weird hole. So I'll just go on and manually delete each face. Since we kept the cylinder such a simple shape, it's really easy to remove those extra faces. Later on in the video, I'll be using this modifier again, and you'll see how it behaves with a proper watertight shape. This is a step that I would likely reserve until later, just so I don't have to delete those faces. However, I prefer doing it this way since I can still make major changes to the shape without it incidentally overlapping itself. So later on, we're going to be adding another modifier that creates that inner layer so it's a proper shape. And I've had issues where I decide I don't like the shape of this anymore, and I've accidentally caused both layers to overlap. And since there's so many faces, I'm kind of cooked. So this might be a little extra work now, but I find it just kind of stupid proofs it later for me. Do whatever works best for you though. So I keep talking about a watertight shape. This is how we do it. We're going to solidify the shape. And you see that? It's going to create a ring around the edge. I always make it 0.02. I don't know what unit the M is in, and anytime I ever scale anything, it's never correct when I import elsewhere. So I always just pick 2. It hasn't failed me yet on any of my prints, and they're quite sturdy. Every now and then, you'll get those little spiky guys around the edges. So I was looking for loose vertices that I might have missed. There's none. So I just kind of manually snugged them all back into place. Now you can only edit the shape like that once you apply the modifier. Once you apply the modifier, there's no going back. So now it's a watertight shape. This can exist in real life. Awesome. So I just pretty up the insides, fix the nose and all my loose edges, and make sure that everyone is looking pretty. We are so close to printing, and now you're going to get to see the Boolean modifier, how it acts on a proper watertight shape. Look at those clean edges. So yes, I'm overcomplicating things, but this is what works for me. Feel free to try something else and see what works best for you. If I was more confident in my work, I probably would do it like this. So now our base is done, but for bonus points, I'm going to show you how to splice it up in case you want to print it bigger and you have a smaller print bed. So I will still be using the Boolean modifier, and all I do is I use a plane to slice it. Our 3D printing software that we use lets us mirror, so this time I just tried cutting it straight in half. This is something that I'm still experimenting with. I've only done one print ever with it spliced up, but it came out good. So trying it again, but this time with less pieces. The only thing to note, I didn't know this until I exported everything and then I had to do it again. Even though a layer is hidden, it's still there. So when you export that shape, everything you hid will be there. So I just delete everything and try to be really conservative with the amount of actions I do in the program, so then I can just Control Z it, which is probably a little dumb, but oh. So now I'm just gonna absolutely spam Control Z and we're gonna keep going back, and oh my god, puppy! So, hooray! This is a finished base. Like I said, it's printing now, so we'll see how it comes out. But thank you for watching. Look, he's dancing! I wish I was dancing. Instead, I'm recording a YouTube video for a bunch of online furries. Oh, we're petting the dog. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope that this was insightful to someone, and if it wasn't, I'm sorry. And if you have any advice or critique for me as someone who potentially may be more experienced or knows something that I should try to maybe improve my own workflow, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully, again, this is helpful to someone and we can all just help each other be more skilled artists and cosplayers and nerds and whatever else we're doing. So, hope you all have a great rest of your day and keep crafting.